I'll be right back. Oh no! I'll be right back. Gotta check something. Okay, I'm back. I be back. I have returned. Yes.
Wonderful to see you again.
I've completed my assignments, Professor.
Pleased to hear it. Professor Weasley will be too. I'll be sure to let her know how well you're coming along.
Thank you, Professor.
Professor Hecat tells me she taught you Levioso, so you should be ready for a more advanced levitation charm. Wingardium Leviosa requires a bit of concentration and a nice, graceful wand movement. Let's see you try your hand at it. When executed correctly, you should be able to pick up boulders as though they were sprigs of snoozewort.
Levitation charm. Can levitate, move objects, controls position with your movement. Use up, down, left, right. Fine tunes distance and rotation.
Well done! Feel free to practice Wingardium Leviosa here in the greenhouse. I've set some crates out for you in the next room.
Professor Garlick, a moment of your time?
The plants are resting, so now's as good a time as any.
I was wondering, what made you want to teach herbology?
How lovely of you to ask. I've always had an affinity for greenery, so this situation is a bit of a dream come true. After graduation, I was thrilled to be asked to step in for my old herbology professor. He'd had a slight accident, you see.
Oh dear. A shame for him, but it worked out well for you.
Well, he never really cared for the plants, and they could sense it. Oh, you'd be surprised how perceptive a plant can be. At any rate, the trouble began one day when he cut into a Wigan tree. Unfortunately for him, its leaves were hiding a bowtruckle. You may recall the marvelous creatures that resemble a twig. The little beast gouged the professor's eyes quite fiercely, but terrifying, I'd imagine. Likely for the professor, too.
And that's when you took over as the herbology professor?
Well, not quite. After 3 weeks at St. Mungo's, my predecessor regained a tiny bit of his eyesight. He insisted on returning to the greenhouse. Within a week, he claims by accident, kicked a Chinese chomping cabbage, so it was back to St. Mungo's for him.
What a string of bad luck.
Well, I felt awful for him, but I dare say I felt a bit more sympathy for the cabbage. Upon his discharge from the hospital, his indifference to plants had turned to utter disdain. He lost what little patience he had left with a particularly temperamental venomous tentacula and, well, his resulting leave of absence continues to this day.
I'm glad everything worked out as it did and that you're the herbology professor now.
Very kind of you to say. I do love these gardens and helping my students grow. Huh. Lovely speaking with you. Have a wonderful day. Oh, and remember, be kind to your Wigan trees.
Kicked carnivorous cabbage. If you were watching the scene before we learned Wingardium Leviosa, it was that thing that the girl put on Garlic's desk.
Expelliarmus! Wingardium Leviosa!
You're a natural. You can't imagine.
Have you finished your assignments?
I finished the tasks, Professor.
Well, well. I trust you are meticulous in your efforts. After all, shortcuts only ever lead to shortcomings.
Yes, sir, of course.
Good. Ordinarily, I'd say it's not my concern either way, but you... I want to make sure you're well prepared. Talent and resolve are a potent combination. It would be a shame to let that go to waste.
Thank you, Professor.
Don't let it go to your head. Now, let's see how you fare with Diffindo. Wand at the ready. Focus. Diffindo can be dangerous if you're not paying attention. Very good. It seems you have a grasp on Diffindo. I would encourage... once again to practice here in the classroom, for your sake and that of everyone else. Diffindo, it's a pleasure to have a student who actually heeds instruction.
Incendio. Confringo. Expelliarmus. Professor Sharp, do you have a moment?
Depends on how you intend to use it.
I saw an aura badge on your desk and was wondering if you could tell me more about your time as an aura.
Observant. I suppose I could indulge you for a moment. Spent years tracking down reprobates who dealt in artifacts of dark magic origin.
That seems a bit more dangerous than teaching potions.
Often, yes. Though I've seen some remarkably creative concoctions brewed in my class. I enjoyed a great deal of success as an aura. However, success can make one complacent if one's confidence is not tempered by humility. One overstep in battle changed everything.
May I ask what happened?
Yes, well, I suppose it's a matter of record. My partner and I had tracked a suspect to a harbor in Scarborough, trying to smuggle shrunken heads of all things. I had deduced that he was working alone. I was mistaken, and they knew we were coming. From the moment we stepped onto the ship, well, I barely escaped with my life. My partner wasn't so lucky.
I suppose being an aura is dreadfully dangerous. I'm sorry.
It is at that. But survival is not guaranteed for any of us. Pay attention. And not just within my class. This is what I must impress upon you all. A potion and a poison may be a mere breath apart, until you consume the wrong one.
Well said, Professor.
John Wick. What? What about John Wick? The professor looked like John Wick.
Pardon me, but were you saying something?
Oh, hello. Talking to myself. I'm Clementine Willardsey. Charmed. I was musing on the precious butterflies I see near the edge of the forest. Whenever I come near, they fly off into it. When I was at Hogwarts, we truly were forbidden from entering the forest. Told horrible stories about it, and I've had an irrationally intense fear of it ever since. It's silly, but I'm insatiably curious as to where the butterflies go in the forest. You couldn't possibly find out, could you?
You want me to follow the butterflies?
I do, yes, if you wouldn't mind.
What were the horrible stories you were told about the Forbidden Forest?
Oh, goodness, everything from students being mysteriously beheaded to terrifying spider dens. Oh, trust me, you hear that at 11 years old, it sticks with you.
Very well. If I have time, I shall see where they lead.
Oh, how kind. Students these days have so much more courage than I ever did. You can usually find me right around here. I hope to see you soon.
I'm an adult. Students are forbidden to go into Forbidden Forest. You're a student. Can you go for me? Okay.
There they are. She wasn't making it up. Well, we've come this far. Miss Willardsey might get an answer about these butterflies. Incendio! Confringo! Expelliarmus! Levioso! Incendio. Defender.
I forgot what the heal button was. Down, apparently.
Revelio. Well, well. Look what we have here.
Can't thank you enough for helping to save the
Oh,
village.
please tell me you have an answer for me about the butterflies.
Hello, Miss Willardsey.
Well, what happened? Did you find them?
They led me into the forest and revealed a treasure.
Oh, how lovely! I'm glad you were rewarded for your efforts. Perhaps one day I'll be able to bring myself to go into the forest. For now, I'm happy simply knowing there's something so lovely to see, should I dare.
Revelio.
I was hoping to see you.
You're back.
Finally. Minister Spavin talks more than he listens. Ranted on and on about rogue dragons. Wouldn't listen to a word about goblins. Speaking of which...
Listen, Professor. So much happened while you were away. Eldridge Diggory's portrait in the common room told me about his great niece, Helen.
His great niece?
Yes, she used to be an Auror. Well, she took me to Azkaban to meet Anne Thisbe.
You went to Azkaban?
Quite an experience. But you see, Anne knew Richard Jackdaw before he died. So I had to find his ghost.
Who on earth is Richard Jackdaw?
He was a student here long ago. Anyway, he told me about a secret cavern. I went there, and right next to Jackdaw's skeleton, I found the missing pages.
You found the pages?
I did. And because Jackdaw had followed the map they contained, when I found the pages, I found the location on the map. Believe it or not, it's a room below Hogwarts.
Why am I not surprised? Shall we?
I was hoping you'd say that. Oh, and we'll need to bring the book. The room is called the Map Chamber, by the way. And a portrait of Percival Rackham awaits us there.
Professor Rackham. I look forward to meeting him. How did this Jackdaw get the pages from the book?
Evidently, Peeves stole them, and Jackdaw stole them from him.
Oh, Peeves. To think it was beneath us all this time. This looks promising. A map. There's Hogsmeade. And over here, the Forbidden Forest. And, of course, Hogwarts. It's magnificent. If only you were here to see this.
Hello, Professor Rackham. We've placed the book on the pedestal as you asked. And this is my mentor, Professor Fig.
How you do, Professor Fig? And you, my young friend, see now why you needed to return with the book?
I do. I also see why you refer to this room as the Map Chamber.
That you have come this far tells me that you possess extraordinary magical ability, the potential and power of which will unlock should you prove yourself worthy. The location of each of 4 trials will, in time, appear on the map. Trials that will test you and give you access to invaluable knowledge. Trials that you must complete on your own. Do you recall the pensive memory you viewed in my vault in Gringotts?
You and your friend Charles spoke of the Portkey, and of trials you'd created for one who could see traces of ancient magic.
Precisely. Charles is another of the Keepers, a designation we gave ourselves centuries ago, in light of the knowledge that we have been bound to keep hidden. Until, perhaps, now.
So, the passage from your ruins to Gringotts, everything in the vault, the restricted section, finding this room, none of these was a trial.
They were an important part of the journey, but they were not trials themselves. The fact that you have come this far, however, bodes well. The trials were designed to ensure that the power and knowledge we have kept secret for so long does not fall into the wrong hands. They will test your abilities, both innate and learned. But of equal importance, everything you witness as you complete the trials will inform what you choose to do with all that we share. You will need patience. The trials have much to teach you. It will take time.
I'm afraid we don't have the luxury of time.
We have waited this long, Professor Fig. Surely a few more.
Respectfully, sir, while I do not know the secret you keep, I do know that our young friend here has seen traces. Traces of a powerful dark magic being wielded by goblin kind. And we encountered an uncommonly powerful goblin wielding such magic as we prepare to leave your vault at Gringotts. We may already be too late.
This is grave news indeed. Young friend, do you trust Professor Fig?
I do.
Then, in the light of your considerable skill and all you have already accomplished, we shall begin. You will find the location of the first trial marked on the map below you. Whilst Professor Fig may assist you in locating the trials, they may be completed only by one with our ability.
Shall we have a look? I know that tower. It's not far. You may have seen it yourself.
It looks familiar. Perhaps your young friend is more well-traveled than you might think.
As your mentor, the least I can do is go ahead to make sure it is safe. Join me as soon as you can.
You said that you know that tower. What can you tell me about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. I've passed it dozens of times. It's north of Hogsmeade. My recollection is that it seems abandoned. Clearly, however, the tower conceals more than meets the eye.
I'll find you at the tower as soon as I can.
Until then, be careful. And do not tell anyone where you're going.
Bumblebum specs. Who's Bumblebum?
How would you like to learn the knockback jigs flipendo? Once you've completed the necessary tasks, come and find me in the greenhouse.
Why you breathing so hard? I'm not.
It's time you learned, Glacius, the freezing spell. It is an efficient way to cool down a heated situation. But first, I will need you to complete a few tasks. Once you've done that, come and see me.
Let's see.
Handy resource indeed, your field guide. I'm most pleased to be.
Where's Hogsmeade Station?
Brilliant. I'd like to ask you about changing the room's ambience.
Of course. What sort of overall look most appeals to you?
Actually, perhaps another time.
So, let's see. I don't remember what I need to do to... change the room. Just do that.
Oh dear. Deke thinks perhaps you didn't know Deke was near.
Did you put your tournament goblet of... put your name in the tournament goblet of Dumbledore said Calendly. Hmm. Hmm.
Protego!
Well, how do you... I'm trying to look for the command that allows me to
Revelio.
change the stuff in my room of requirement. Oh, it's one of those spells. That's right. Oh, I don't have any large potting tables purchased.
I was wondering when I'd see you again. Let's look at what we have, shall we? Nothing like finding just the right thing, is there? Let me know if there's anything else I can do to help.
Okay. Oh, boo. Fluxweed, Venomous Tentacula. So neat. The other place, I think, is in Lower Hogsfield.
Oh, that last Clemens. Greetings. Please, take your time looking about. Now, you let me know if there's anything else I can help you with. No one can say I don't keep his stacks.
Oh no, it's right here.
Hello. Careful of the mandrakes. I haven't fed them yet.
I don't have enough for it. Oh well.
Doors always open.
All right.
How did you get on with those tasks?
Dear Madam Kagawa, Marvelous news that you'll be joining the faculty at Hogwarts as our new flying instructor. I dare say our work together at Hogwarts will be less eventful than our time near Yokohama Harbor, though one never knows. I shall look forward to seeing you soon. If you have any questions in the meantime, please do not hesitate to send me an owl. Warm regards, Matilda Weasley. Dear Madam Kagawa, I'm writing to do with Professor Black's decision to cancel Quidditch. As you know, joining a professional Quidditch team is my utmost dream, and I believe my chances will now be ruined, or at least significantly thwarted. Professor Weasley insists that we must defer to the headmaster, and she encouraged me to practice on my own. I have devised some challenging trials for myself, but it's not at all the same as practicing on the pitch. Nothing is. Please could I ask that you speak to the headmaster or to Professor Weasley? I shall be miserable my whole life if I can't play Quidditch properly for this entire year. Thank you, Professor Imelda Reyes.
Madam Kagawa, I completed the list of tasks you assigned.
Wonderful. I trust you became more familiar with your broom through the process?
Yes, Professor.
That's good to hear. Keep it up, and perhaps one day you'll have a spot on the Quidditch team. If Black ever permits Quidditch again. Well, with those tasks out of the way, let us get started. Glacius. Pay attention to your wand work. Well done. I'd recommend that you practice your new spell here in my office before taking it out into the world. Glacius, there you go. Catching them quickly.
Yay. Talent point. Fringo, Dipulso, Defendo. Gracias.
Revelio. This place has seen better days.
Yep, nope, not doing that.
Revelio. Revelio.
Intriguing place, Zanbakar's tower. Lovely view, I'd imagine. No idea who this
Over here.
I believe you are ready to learn Arresto Momentum, the slowing charm. It allows you to freeze objects or people.
We're not alone.
We are not. Ranrock's loyalists. Around a dozen I can see, but could be more.
Can't we apparate past them into the tower?
We could, but we've no idea what's in the tower. More importantly, however, I'd like to know why they're here. They've set up camp just ahead. I suggest we investigate a little before doing anything else. Let's go.
Well, this isn't ideal.
No, it isn't. This way. And I'd suggest we use the disillusionment charm here. No sense in announcing our arrival.
Revelio.
Quickly now.
Reaching an enemy undetected allows you to cast Petrificus Totalis. This will permanently incapacitate a weaker enemy or significantly damage a stronger one.
Stay hidden and cast Petrificus Totalis.
How? Oh.
Petrificus Totalis. Well done.
Revelio.
There must be something here. Ramrock said so.
Petrificus Totalis.
There must be something here. Ramrock said so. There must be something here. Ramrock said so.
Petrificus Totalis.
Oh, sweet, it did both. Stretch! Okay, I will stretch. Oh! Okay. It's a good stretch.
I deserve Petricus Totalis. Revelio. Orders. Directly from Ranrock.
Search the tower and the surrounding
These
area. Look
orders
for anything to do with
indicate
the
that they're after
names.
something to do with names.
What you find here could be the key
And
to
why
Galmakan
here?
family taking its rightful place in the realm.
Revelio.
I will draw blood. Oh, this'll be a lark.
Protego.
You won't stop me.
Incendio. Defendo.
Rather unwise coming back this way.
Levioso.
And utterly pitiful. I will make you pay.
Oh look, a WoW rogue edgelord.
Many goblins have always been antagonistic towards wizard country.
Revelio.
This is different somehow.
It's more than mere coincidence that we encountered Ranrock's loyalists here.
Looks like we found the entrance.
It's locked. An unlocking charm.
Very handy. No time now, but if you don't learn it soon enough, we can work on it back at the castle.
Revelio.
I got some gear. Gear that I can't wear. Tell you you're wrong.
Revelio.
I cannot, sir.
Someone was an avid reader. Can't say I'm familiar with many of these titles. I wonder who this is.
With robes like that, it could be anyone.
Revelio.
I imagine these brooms have been enchanted for centuries. Never seen an enchantment last this long.
Welcome to Sambakar's Tower.
Hello, Professor. Did you say Sambakar's Tower?
I did. Professor Bakar is a keeper you have yet to encounter. I'm glad to see that I was correct in presuming that we would meet again soon after our last encounter. Though I surmise, based on the commotion I heard, that you did not have an easy time getting to me.
We did not, Professor. We encountered goblins outside the tower.
That goblins were aware of my vault is disquieting enough. But if they have also made a connection to this tower, then the threat may be greater than I thought. All the more reason for us to move forward. Downstairs, near the entry, a reservoir of ancient magic, like those you've seen before, has been unlocked. Commanded to access a doorway. I'm afraid I cannot say more. As Professor Fig cannot join you, he and I will, in time, see you back at the map chamber. Remember what you see.
We're going to need to understand how Ranrock's loyalists knew about a tower that once belonged to a keeper. For the moment, however, you've more important things to set your mind to. A reservoir of ancient magic, I believe?
Yes, sir.
Then I shall leave matters in your increasingly capable hands. That said, be careful.
I will, sir. I'll see you back in the map chamber. A reservoir of ancient magic, downstairs, near the entry. Revelio. Revelio. I've seen this before, in Gringotts and the restricted section. That must have done something. Best have a look around. Revelio. Revelio. More traces of ancient magic. Something must be different. Revelio. These are never a welcome sight. At least I know what to expect this time. Potato! Defender! Confringo! Incendio! Confringo! Incendio! Expelliarmus! Defender! Confringo! Expelliarmus! Revelio. These look familiar. Revelio. Was it Accio I used before? Accio. Glacius. Depulso. Accio. Wingardium Leviosa. That platform looks like it ought to get me where I need to go. I presume I'm looking for traces of ancient magic. But where? Glacius! Depulso! Traces of ancient magic. But where? Revelio. Accio. Revelio. I presume I'm looking for traces of ancient magic. But where? Accio.
Ah, beans.
presume I'm looking for traces of ancient magic. But where? Accio!
I want to know how I get in there. Oh.
Accio! Accio! What did that burst of magic do? Perhaps I should examine things from both sides of the archway. Accio! More statues. Glaciers! Protego! Defendo! Incendio! Confringo! Expelliarmus! Incendio! Defendo! Confringo! Expelliarmus! Incendio! Confringo! Not making this easy on me. Revelio! Confringo! Accio! 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 Depulso! Accio. Seems I ought to explore this archway from both sides. Revelio.
Oh, interesting.
Depulso. Accio. What did that burst of magic change on both sides of the archway? Something must be different. Revelio. Accio. Oh.
Oh.
Revelio. I'll never get used to these floors. Incendio. Confringo. Defendo. Expelliarmus. Incendio. Confringo. Incendio. Confringo. Defendo. Expelliarmus. Incendio. Confringo. Expelliarmus. Defendo. Incendio. Confringo. Expelliarmus. Incendio. Defendo. Confringo. Protego. Incendio. Defendo. Confringo. Protego. Expelliarmus. Incendio. Confringo. Defendo. Reparo. Revelio. I presume I'm looking for traces of ancient magic. But where? Accio. Accio. Now to see what's changed on each side of this archway. Accio.
Damn, I missed an hour and a half. Yep. Well, I clearly need to update my Twitch notifications. Yeah.
Things are definitely different on either side of the archway. But how? Accio! What if I stood on one platform and used Accio on the other? That ought to work. Accio!
Refresh twice and didn't see you live. Oh, it sucks. I'm sorry.
Revelio. Incendio. Defendo. Confringo. Expelliarmus. Incendio. Confringo. Defendo. Expelliarmus. Incendio. Defendo. Confringo. Expelliarmus.
Anyways, that was dinner for y'all. Dinner's good. Oh, it's a big boy.
Incendio.
Oh.
Incendio. Defendo. Confringo. Expelliarmus. Incendio. Defendo. Confringo. Expelliarmus. Incendio. Confringo. Incendio. Defendo. Confringo. Expelliarmus. Defendo. Expelliarmus. Defendo. Confringo. Confringo. Incendio. Defendo. Incendio. Confringo. Expelliarmus. Defendo. Potato. Revelio. Places.
Trying to figure out how to destroy the orb. There we go.
What a relief.
I had chimkin for my supper. Did you have supper, asparagus?
Revelio. Another pensive.
Your ability to transfigure the world around you is remarkable. What is it?
My father isn't getting better. I don't think he'll ever recover from the death of my brother.
It is agonizing to see those we love suffer.
The drought was years ago, but the pain of losing him is as deep for him now as if it had happened only yesterday. He doesn't need pretty pillars, he needs peace. What if I could help him, Professor?
You do so much for your father already.
It's not enough. I want to take away his pain.
It is tempting, I know, to use this magic that you're mastering to transfigure more than the physical world. But human emotion is a potent force unto itself. Even the most well-meaning and competent witch cannot possibly know the consequences of irrevocably manipulating it.
So I'm to watch as my father's pain destroys him.
It is not your pain to take. Every year, a student sees something sillier than I could ever imagine in their tea leaves. Oh, Miss Morgana, welcome back to Hogwarts, Professor.
That's going to take some getting used to. Professor Rickwood?
I was so pleased to hear that you'd accepted the position of Defense Against the Dark Arts, Professor.
Sit, Isadora. Tell us about your travels.
I was actually hoping that you and the others might join me at my home this evening. There's much I'd like to share with you.
That would be delightful. We shall let the others know.
Very well. I shall see you then.
Another memory. Now to find a way out of here. Revelio. All crystallized stone. That must be the way back to the map chamber.
What have we here?
I'm a student at Hogwarts, sir. And this is Professor Fig.
Professor Charles Rookwood at your service. Has someone completed the first trial?
I have, Professor Rookwood. We saw you in the pensive in Gringotts with Professor Rackham.
Indeed. So, you found the portkey to access Professor Rackham's vault, and you deciphered the map within the locket you found floating above that pensive.
I did. I found something that I can't identify floating above the last pensive.
Ah, yes. You will find a similar artifact in each trial. You must take care to keep them safe. You'll need them to complete the journey we have set forth for you. Once you have them all, we will tell you what to do with them.
Very well. Are you able to tell me anything about the next trial?
Before you proceed, I would like to speak with Charles regarding the urgent situation involving the goblins.
The goblins?
The student has seen traces of a powerful dark magic being wielded by goblin kind. They and their mentor, Professor Fig, not only encountered goblins lurking outside of San Bakar's tower, they also encountered a powerful goblin in my vault at Gringotts.
I'm afraid it would be wise to halt the trials until we know more.
We shall defer to you in this matter, of course. Now then...
Wait, Professor. The name Rookwood. Do you think...
that there's a connection to Victor? Perhaps, but we can't be sure of its significance, if any. For now, tell me what you saw in the pensive.
Before the witch from the last pensive, Isadora, became a Hogwarts professor, she argued with Professor Rackham about using magic to remove pain.
Hopefully the next pensive provides more context. For now, we should learn what Ramrock knows. I will be honest, I've no idea where to start.
Actually, I might know of someone. I saw Sirona at the Three Broomsticks speaking to a goblin once. They seemed friendly.
Well, it's worth a try. See what you can find out. Of course, don't forget...
my studies. Yes, sir.
Before you go...
Professor?
Have you encountered swirling traces of magic in the world? Aside from those along our path?
Not that I recall. What are they?
Evidence of the Keeper's efforts to manipulate the power of ancient magic during our time. If I am correct, and I usually am, you should be able to use them to inform and enhance your own magic.
Thank you, sir. I will look out for them.
That's a caper. Meet Charles Rookwood at the map chamber. Three more.
I should ask Sirona at the Three Broom...
I've got spectacular news. The broom upgrade's ready. Stop by the shop when you can.
I hope you will come and see me about a pressing and highly confidential matter at your earliest convenience. I believe that we may be able to help each other.
I don't know that guy, but he sounds like a sleazeball.
Revelio.
Please see me after class once you have completed the tasks I've set for you. I would like to teach you Descendo, useful for pulling objects to the ground.
Revelio.
House elf living quarters. Ever practical and creative, the Hogwarts house elves have created a cozy village-like home for themselves among these barrels in the Hogwarts kitchens. Of course, one cannot presume to know what they're really like inside, as house elves have an extraordinary magic of their own.
Revelio.
Kitchen tables. When Hogwarts house elves place prepared food on these tables, it is magically transferred to the tables in the Great Hall directly above. There's rats in the kitchens.
Revelio.
Well, we're going to take a brief break here, folks. I've got to swap out some laundry and get some more water. So we're going to do an ad break. Be back in a few minutes. Take this opportunity to stretch your legs, get some water, food. Thank you for the hydrate, Furion. And I'll be back shortly. And we are back. Thank you for your patience, everyone. So what we got going on? I hate these glasses. I hate them so much. Let's see. Too many spells. Alright. Too many spells. Not enough spell slots.
Welcome back. I've arranged a special price on the broom upgrade for you. I truly appreciate all of your help. You'll be thrilled with that broom, I promise you. I must tell you, half of Hogsmeade's been by the shop asking about rumours of a broom upgrade. Without the information you provided, my work would have taken twice as long. Thank you again. It may sound ambitious, but I've already begun work on another upgrade, more difficult to perfect than the last. I wondered, would you be interested in joining forces again? There's another course near Arendelle that Miss Reyes has mastered. If you were to test this first upgrade there, it may help me as I develop the next. Oh, you'll consider it, won't you?
What more can you tell me about the next course?
It's just a jaunt from here, south of Hogsmeade. Beautiful mountain views. The course was designed to test flyer stamina. Some of your classmates mentioned they were headed there, eager to see what Imelda has in store. A bit surprising, considering many of them expressed reticence at the idea of racing against her at all. I hope that won't deter you, and you'll give the course a go. At least think on it.
Sounds as if you're really outdoing yourself. If I'm able to help, I will.
Thank you. I know this recent success was only the beginning of what I can do for broom flight. Report back as soon as you can, and we'll be off to the races.
Off to the races, then.
Hello there. Nice to see you.
Hello, Miss Ryan. I wanted to thank you again for your help with Rookwood and Harlow the day of the troll attack.
Sirona, please. And I was happy to help. Oh, those two are nothing but trouble. Glad you and your friend were here when they found you.
I am too. You were speaking to a goblin here that day?
Yes, Lodgok. He's a friend.
It seems as though you were on good terms with him.
I've known him for years. We met when I was waiting tables here as a student, well before I bought the place. He was cordial enough, but we weren't friends then. His mistrust of wizard kind ran deep.
But you're friends now?
We are. Hadn't seen him in years when he came in a few months ago. But he recognized me instantly, which is more than I can say for some of my own classmates. Took them a second to realize I was actually a witch, not a wizard. Not all goblins are like Ranrock and his loyalists. Lodgok is as worried as the rest of us about what's been going on.
In that case, I'd like to talk with him, about Ranrock in particular. Where might I find him?
I assume your interest is to do with the rumors I've heard about Ranrock working with our friend Rookwood.
It is.
If he's not here, you might find him doing business at the Hog's Head. He's a trusted metal trader. You should mention that we spoke. He can, understandably, be wary of witches and wizards, even ones as young as you. That said, if you're looking for information on Ranrock to help rein him in, you'll find an ally in Lodgok.
Have you heard what Ranrock and Rookwood are working on together?
Not much more than the fact that they seem to have some sort of uneasy alliance. Friendship between wizards and goblins is rare enough. But between those two, they each want something the other has. I can guarantee it. That said, I fear they're like a two-headed serpent. Both will need to be taken down to stop whatever scheme they've been plotting.
You seemed unfazed by Rookwood and Harlow the other day. They don't scare you?
They're bullies. Plain and simple. Never tolerated them in my own life, and certainly won't tolerate them going after my friends. Don't misunderstand me. They're dangerous wizards and shouldn't be trifled with. They should, however, be confronted and reminded, whenever possible, that the rest of us have each other's backs.
Thank you, Sirona.
If you find Lodgok, please give him my best. I don't know what you've done to make such powerful enemies, but please, watch your back.
Hello. Good to see you outside the castle.
You too, Amit.
Welcome to the Hog's Head. Any empty seat is yours.
Hello, Lodgok. Sirona said I might find you here.
She did she? Did she send you with news?
No, actually, I wanted to speak with you. It's about Ranrock.
Now I remember. The 3 broomsticks. Day of the troll attack. You're the student he's after.
I am. And I need to know what he and his loyalists are up to, so I can stay a step
Lord
ahead.
Guck.
Let's say I did know. Why should I trust you?
Sirona trusts me, and she thought our interests may be aligned.
Well, if Sirona trusts you, very well. I may know of something that could help us both. A way to get Ranrock to confide his plans to me.
I'm listening.
Years ago, a heinous witch stole a sacred goblin relic. Rumor has it that it now rests in her sarcophagus, in a tomb accessible only by wizard kind. Ranrock and I had a falling out a while back. The relic could well repair the chasm between us.
Very well. I'll retrieve the relic if you promise to share Ranrock's plans with me.
We will have to trust each other. I, that you will not abscond with the relic, and you, that I'll share what I learn. Gather whatever supplies you may need, and meet me near the witch's tomb.
My cousin was given a life sentence in Azkaban for using his tools.
Stormy, you've been fine all day, and now you just want to go in and out at your leisure.
Revelio. Hello again, Mr. Moon.
Oh, I was hoping to see you again, my young friend. Gladwin Moon, Hogwarts caretaker, at your service. First, please allow me to apologize if I seemed a bit unsteady when we last met. I'm afraid I had a rather disconcerting encounter. Although I hear your visit to Hogsmeade was even more eventful than mine.
I suppose you could call it eventful. I certainly wasn't expecting a troll attack.
Oh, of course not. And from what I understand, the village was lucky you were there. In fact, my recent visit to Hogsmeade is the reason I was hoping to bump into you. I could use your help with something. Do you see that curious statue over there? Watch what happens when that light changes from day to night. Now, if you wouldn't mind humouring me for a moment, see if you can remove the moon from the statue. Go on, take the moon. Oh, odd little contraptions, aren't they? It seems the statue vanishes once the moon is removed, which, incidentally, can only be done at night. Why don't you hold on to that one for now, and I'll explain more as we walk. Ever since that fateful day in the village, those curious statues have begun appearing about the castle. A fair number have been strewn around Hogsmeade. Someone, it seems, is trying to torment me. You see, that day in Hogsmeade, I turned a corner and came face to face with a boggart, or shapeshifter, if you will, which takes the form of whatever scares you most. This one took the form of a demiguise.
A demiguise?
Yes! Terrifying creature that can see the future. Wholly unnerving. I encountered one when I was a lad in Korea. Terrible experience. Those statues are demiguises. The moons, I assume, are an uninspired play on my name. Some jackanapes used a boggart to learn my greatest fear and use it against me. I have my suspicion as to the scoundrel or scoundrels responsible. It is my hope that they will slip up and reveal themselves as the statues disappear. That is why I need your help in removing the statues.
Why me?
A couple of reasons, frankly. First, your daring do against those trolls in Hogsmeade has gained you a reputation for fearlessness. Second, as macabre and hideous as a demiguise is, most would find my fear of them unwarranted. You, however, have seen how they affect me. I'm at my wit's end, young friend. I simply can't bring myself to go near them. In fact, I know of two statues right here in the faculty tower. Perhaps you could start simply by removing them, so I can go about my evening duties.
I'd be glad to help you, Mr. Moon.
Oh, I knew I could count on you. First, you know how to cast a disillusionment charm, correct? You'll want to do that before wandering the tower at night. Next, you'll notice that the door is locked. However will you get in? Alahomora, that's how.
But what about curfew?
Curfew? Oh, tosh. I sense you're a bit like me when I was your age. Oh, the school was my oyster. And I took advantage of it. Oh, everyone loved me for it. Oh, those were the days. Now, you'll find one statue in the prefect's bathroom and the other in the hospital wing. Good luck. Oh, and thank you.
Aloha Mora.
Use left and right to move the sparks to rotate the dials until both corresponding gears are activated to release the lock. Oh. Oh.
Well done! You're in! Remember, use a disillusionment charm so no one claps eyes on you. This is a restricted area of the castle, after all. Revelio.
Aloha Mora. Revelio.
Dear Maribel, my dear Dot has been asking after you. Perhaps I can convince her to stop in for a butterbeer or two if you were to join us. It's been far too long. When you do manage to come by, I wonder if you'd be able to part with a few of your plants, the more fragrant ones. Ever since the troll attack, customers have been complaining about the smell of, believe it or not, old socks. Nothing I've tried seems to cover the stench. Hoping to see you soon, with or without the plants. Yours, your friend, Saruna.
Revelio.
Professor Fig, I'm in receipt of your most recent owl. Apologies for the delay in my response. I'm still receiving a good deal of correspondence regarding the introduction of the not-so-recent stooging penalty in Quidditch, which, in my humble opinion, has brought the game into the modern age. Astonishing, frankly, how many spectators want nothing less than seeing Quidditch keepers flattened entirely. As to the topic of your recent letter, we at the Ministry assure you that any and all potential threats to Wizardkind are taken quite seriously. I have made note of your concerns, and inasmuch as time allows, the Department of Magical Law Enforcement will ensure that the matter is looked into, schedule permitting. We value the opinions of esteemed wizards such as yourself, and you may rest assured that we have matters well in hand. Should you wish, I can have my secretary secure seats for yourself and a guest at this year's Quidditch final. I think you would be delighted to see the results of a well-run and efficient government. Warmest regards, Ferris Spavin, Minister for Magic.
Revelio.
It's a level 2 lock. Casting Revelio reveals authority figures and enemy locations, allowing you to scan ahead and remain undetected.
Revelio.
According to staff, the Hogwarts house elves do an exceptional job of keeping the castle in order. They are seldom unprepared for any number of items that they might encounter each day. However, only the other day, an unexpected stash of wizarding crackers went off from behind a cushion. Cacophony was almost untoward, engulfing one poor elf in blue smoke, giving those of us nearby an abominable ringing in our ears for the rest of the day. I expect the culprit was Peeves. Please keep an eye out and be careful. Tilda Weasley, Deputy Headmistress. Alright.
Got it.
Two more.
Revelio. Aloha Mora. Revelio.
My darling Abraham, you would be overjoyed to know that the local children have taken to playing gobstones in the street just outside of your study window. Quite charming, I must say. I noticed the youngest was without her own set of gobstones, so I lent her one of yours. I knew you wouldn't mind. I do hope things are going well at the castle. I'm relieved you were alive safely. Dreadful story about that gentleman from the ministry. Was he really traveling with Eleazar and his student? Simply dreadful. Do write when you have a moment. I'm most eager to hear stories of this year's Summoner's Court participants. Your students so adore you, my dear. With love, M. It's the Charms Professor's spouse. Okay, so 5 spider, so spider is 0, 1, 3, no, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. 5 plus 8 is 13, so this one is 0. And 3 plus 1, 3 plus 2, 5, 9, which I think 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Stormy's got the zoomies. How's everyone doing?
If I catch a student in here, shoot, caught you sneaking about, didn't I?
Beans. Expelled. Oh, God.
Incendio.
Whoops. Wrong spell. Oh, good. I don't have to start from the beginning. Yeah, burned down the castle by accident. I was trying to turn myself invisible.
Revelio.
Which one is the...
How are your students getting on?
Rather poorly, I'd say.
Is that so?
We're raising a generation of coddled kickbackers that will caretaker the difference between us and mathematics.
Yes, well, it's still early. Perhaps they'll improve.
Revelio. Leviosa. That had better. What trickery is this?
Oh, I got caught again.
Incendio.
Whoops.
Careful! Things will soon go to pot if I'm put out of commission.
Revelio. This must be the prefect's bathroom.
They're saying that Ranrock's loyalists are preparing for a rebellion. Rude. Always mucking about, stirring up trouble. Perhaps Ranrock...
Revelio.
My marching Professor Hecat's class is superb.
Revelio.
He's right. Why don't you leave?
Prefect's bathroom features a swimming pool-sized bathtub that can be filled with enchanted soap and colorful bubbles, as well as a beautiful painted mural depicting a mermaid.
How dare you speak to the prefect? That's it. See how point. You know you can't do that.
Revelio.
Boris the Bewildered. The statue of a lost-looking wizard known as Boris the Bewildered has perplexed students for ages. Is he coming or going? Is he at the beginning of a journey or at the end? Perhaps we shall never know. one to go.
Incendio. Defendo. Confringo.
There we go.
Accio.
Oh, alright, Tatan. Thanks for tuning in. Good to have you here. And thank you for the follow earlier.
Aloha Mora. Revelio.
Oh. Guess I wasn't in the quest area.
Revelio. Revelio. Revelio.
Unicorn Fountain, the majestic Unicorn Fountain, gives an air of serenity and calm to the hospital we can get at Hogwarts.
The headmaster would never allow a student other than a prefect, of course.
Ah, beans.
No one would visit his place in that.
Revelio.
Tentacular. Not at the moment, no. Plenty of other perils and pitfalls to send them my way, though. Well, I suppose I should begin my rounds now.
I suppose Professor Black knows best, but the students are terribly disappointed about Quidditch being cancelled.
Huh. I had planned to bet a few galleons on Hufflepuff this season.
Hufflepuff? Ravenclaw?
I know when I see a winning bet, and Ravenclaw would not have been that. Not this year, anyway.
I'm partial to Hufflepuff myself. What was that?
What was what?
I thought I heard something. Perhaps not. Anyway, I had high hopes for Hufflepuff. I was finally going to learn the Quidditch rules.
It's a majestic sport. Encompasses the whole of the human condition.
Oh, how's that?
Well, all of the teamwork and the flying about and the golden snitch. Rather a lot like life, isn't it?
Oh, I suppose I should pay closer attention in the next match, if there ever is one.
I suppose you should.
Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry Hospital Wing, attending healer Nurse Noreen Bailey, patient name redacted by order of Professor Black, age restricted, redacted by order of Professor Black. Notes: the patient was injured, quote unquote, during a Quidditch match, though, in my professional opinion, a redacted by order of Professor Black hardly counts as an injury. In fact, if anyone it was injured, it was me, as I do not believe I've ever rolled my eyes quite so hard in my life. It is a wonder I can even see to write this note. Rather unbelievably, or indeed despicably, the headmaster now wants to cancel Quidditch, all because a pureblood redacted by order of Professor Black went and redacted by order of Professor Black before the snitch was even in sight. When I pressed the headmaster slightly, I was told redacted by order of Professor Black, staggering.
Revelio. Revelio.
Clock tower.
Revelio. Hello, Mr. Moon. I have the moons you asked me to collect.
Oh, goodness! You're as fearless as I'd hoped. An excellent start. If we can collect more, it may shed some light on who's behind all this. Of course, I first suspected Peeves. He drove the previous caretaker, Rancorous Carp, to an early retirement with his intolerable buffoonery. But that does not explain the boggart in Hogsmeade, does it? No. I am determined, with your help, to discover the identity of my tormentor.
It's definitely intriguing. I'd like to help you solve this mystery.
You, my friend, are a gentle person and a scholar. And I have something to offer in exchange for your assistance. Now, remember, the moons are only retrievable at night. Thus, I encourage you to use a disillusionment when necessary.
How many statues are there to find?
I don't know precisely, but I've spotted dozens. Seems they're everywhere I look. You have your work cut out for you, if you were to ever unravel their meaning.
You mentioned offering something in exchange for my assistance?
I did. Once you've brought me enough moons, I'll show you even more powerful forms of Alohomora. Not every lock is as easy to pick as the faculty towers.
Understood. I shall keep an eye out.
I appreciate that. Oh, and I knew you were the one to ask for help. Keep at it so we can solve this mystery.
Cat.
Revelio.
Yes, I told you. You're very clever. Clever?
Revelio. Revelio.
What if he sticks like this?
What? Don't be silly. Look around.
Revelio.
Moving staircase. The savvy student is wise to keep an eye on the stairs as they will change position without notice. While certain students may not mind being late for class, they may very well regret being late to dinner.
Confringo. Accio. Revelio. Revelio.
Nice to see you, my young friend.
Reparo. Revelio. Alohomora. Revelio.
"15th of February, 1851. This morning's crystal gazing was most discouraging. I was initially thrilled to see the Ministry of Magic in my future. The atrium appeared to me clear as day. I've always dreamed of working there. However, as the atrium dissolved into a sea of brooms, endless rows of them, my elation turned to despair. Am I destined for a future in broom regulatory control? The tedium would rival the song of a fwooper for my sanity. For now, I must accept that I am simply not naturally inclined towards divination. Hello? Perhaps I have some subtle skill in that I can sense that? Likely so.
Revelio. Revelio.
It's so loud. Where is it?
Revelio.
There it is. Headmaster's office gargoyle. The staircase that leads to the headmaster's office is guarded by an enchanted gargoyle that will let only those who know the password enter, though anyone choosing to visit the current occupant of the office is difficult to fathom.
Lumos.
Oh dear, where is that?
Revelio. Going for a swim?
Goodness, no. Though I'm beginning to think I really should learn how to swim. Can't very well be liaison to the mer people if I don't know how to swim.
You're a liaison to the mer people.
Well, not technically, no. At least not yet. The position doesn't actually exist at the moment, but I have a plan to change that. I'm Nerida, by the way. Nerida Roberts. We didn't officially meet, but we dueled in the Crossed Swans Club.
Yes, of course. Good to see you again.
And you.
You seem quite interested in mer people.
I am. And they're as misunderstood and disregarded by wizard kind as goblins and centaurs are. I feel that if goblins and centaurs have liaison officers at the ministry, then the mer people should have one too.
I'm impressed. I think reaching out to the mer people is a grand idea.
You do? Oh, thank you. Of course I haven't exactly done anything just yet. I presented them with a gift a few weeks ago, and they wanted to leave me one as well, in one of their caves. Reciprocity and an offer to visit. I tried telling them I couldn't swim, but I'm afraid that bit got lost in translation. Mermish really is tricky.
How has wizard kind fallen short in its treatment of mer people?
Well, we've consistently deigned mer people as being beneath us despite the many similarities between our cultures. One can hardly blame them for declining being status by the ministry years ago. Who are we to classify those of such beauty and intelligence?
What do you imagine a liaison to the mer people would do?
Oh, so many things. I want to know everything I can about them. After I'd mastered swimming, I'd perfect my mermish, of course, and I'd share with them anything they wanted to know about wizard kind. My hope is that by understanding each other better, both of our societies could grow.
What is it about the mer people that interests you so much?
I can't begin to tell you how brilliant they are. I mean, rumor is that tales about them have infiltrated even the Muggle world. The oldest known mer people, sirens, come from Greece. And of course Scotland has Selkies and Ireland is home to Merrows. I could go on for ages about them. Their glorious underwater communities, domestication of sea life, their art and music. It's a travesty how little is understood about them.
Well, I can swim and could help you if you'd like.
You'd really do that? Oh, thank you! Thank you, thank you! The last thing I want is for them to think I'd shunned their gift. Diplomacy is a delicate dance. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think you can dive down to their cave from just there in the water. I can't wait to hear about what you find. One day soon.
Revelio.
Black Lake. The Black Lake or Great Lake, the sitting headmaster vainly prefers the prior, is an expanse of water, fresh water, south of the castle. The lake's murky depths are home to merpeople, grindylows, and other magical aquatic beasts and beings, including the giant squid, surprisingly friendly cephalopod with fondness for toast. Well, let's see if I can dive. Whee.
Look at this place. Did the mer people really leave Nerida an artifact?
I'm likely going to wrap up soon. My neck's starting to get stiff from sitting in this chair.
Incendio. Luma. Now then, I'll need you to come with me. Now for the rest of you. Incendio. Lumos. What do we have in here, then? Narada will be happy about this. Your gift from the Mer people was exactly where they said it would be.
Oh, that's wonderful news. I was so worried I'd left it too long and they'd seen it as a slight. Our relationship with them is already so tenuous.
Then I'm glad we helped to foster some healthy diplomatic relations.
Merlin's beard. It's marvelous. I'm going to show it to everyone, including the Ministry. Should I hand deliver it or send by owl? Thank you again, so much. You may have just helped improve relations between wizard kind and mer people for decades to come. I can't wait to study this.
Yeah, level up.
siblings and I have all been sorted into different houses.
That's it. I'm making good progress with those tokens.
My entire family.
Welcome, everyone. I see you've already met some of the many beasts we study in this class. Though be advised, none of these creatures should be taken lightly. They are all in their own way dangerous, especially if one does not know how to handle them properly. Now, it seems many of you are out of practice. Let's take some time to review the basics of how to care for a beast, shall we? Miss Sweeting, would you please assist our new student with the lesson today?
Yes, Professor Howin. Hello, I'm Poppy Sweeting. Don't worry about Professor Howin's speech. She over-exaggerates sometimes. All the beasts in class are perfectly safe.
It's adorable.
Miss Sweeting, pay attention, please. The tongue of a puffskein can be a slippery devil.
Yes, Professor. Here. You can practice on Gerald. Just keep an eye out for his tongue. You can use my brush. Just be gentle. Oh, and think pleasant thoughts. I like to think it enriches his experience.
The beast petting brush is used to nurture magical beasts. Tap right, then assign the beast petting brush to your spell set. Okay.
That's lovely. I'm sure he feels much better. I think he might be hungry. Would you mind giving him some beast feed? What do you suppose the pellets taste like to Gerald? Pudding, I like to think. I think we can safely say that Gerald likes you.
That's good news. He seems very nice.
He is. Kindness is one of his best qualities, right after ambition and cleanliness.
Good work, everyone. Now, let's make our way to the pens and select another beast. And please, do be careful as you feed and groom them. Miss Sweeting, why don't you show our new student to the Neasels in the farthest pen?
This way. The Neasels are over here.
Oh, couple of Neasel whiskers ought to get me a few canuts at least. Enough to buy something from Honeydukes. Stupid thing.
What in Merlin's name are you doing?
Tuss, peculiar Poppy. Worried about a worthless little rodent.
Her name is Persephone!
Her name is Persephone!
That's really not funny.
Let's go.
Those two don't belong anywhere near this class. Poachers in training. Persephone was onto them instantly. Thank you for your help. Let's carry on. Feed and brush the Neasels just as you did with Gerald. weasels really took to you. They know a good egg when they see one. As do I.
It appears our time has come to an end. Please close the pens and see yourselves out. Now, where is our new student? Ah, there you are. I would like a moment, please.
Hello, Professor. You wanted to speak with me?
I did. How did you find your first beasts lesson?
It was wonderful. I believe I'm really going to enjoy this class.
Good. You seem to understand that when beasts are properly controlled, they can play a vital role in our lives. Some provide us with magically imbued materials, if cared for correctly, which does not include torturing them for whiskers. Well done, by the way. Probably best to let me handle it next time.
Yes, Professor.
They're nearly as bad as the Savagers in Rookwood's poacher pack. Sadly, we're the ones who suffer, stumbling over dead beasts. Terrible waste of resources.
Surely the poachers can be brought to justice by someone. The Ministry, perhaps?
An optimistic idea. Now, why don't we focus on more immediate matters that we can control? Professor Weasley has asked that I prepare some assignments designed to help you catch up to the other 5th years. Be on the lookout for my owl. Meanwhile, I also encourage you to study as many beasts as you can on your own time.
Over here.
Do you need something, Poppy?
Thank you again for saying something to those brutes so that I didn't have to. You were an augury at noon in the desert.
I certainly hope that's a good thing.
It's something my gran and I say. It means that something or someone is a welcome surprise. At least, that's what we decided it meant.
I couldn't stand there and watch them harm the poor thing.
We're of a similar mind. Actually, in light of that, there's someone I'd like you to meet in the forest.
You've intrigued me. Very well. Lead the way.
I'd hoped I would. I wouldn't take just anyone there. In fact, you're the first.
Really? Well, thank you, I think.
As I said, we think alike. Pleasant surprise. Quite the weather. What do you think?
Poppy, where are you taking me?
It really is much better if I just show you. Don't worry, we're nearly there. It's just ahead. Stand back. Please meet Highwing. Isn't she just magnificent? Go on, introduce yourself to her. But be careful. You must always show hippogriffs the proper courtesy before you approach them. I knew it! I don't think I've ever seen a hippogriff take to someone this quickly. You can feed and brush her if you'd like. I come and check on her every once in a while. Bring her pasties, tell her what's going on in the castle. You wouldn't know from looking at her, but she's a dreadful busybody. So, what did you think of Highwing?
I thought she was brilliant. Can't believe you introduced me to her.
I suspected you two might get along.
Are you the reason students have been seeing hippogriffs flying above the Forbidden Forest?
Perhaps. Did you know that once you earn a hippogriff's trust, they'll always be there for you? I've seen it firsthand with her.
How exactly did you and Highwing cross paths?
It's a longer story, but I rescued her from poachers a few years back. Got her to safety and, well, she was fine until recently. You may have noticed that poachers are something of a problem in the area, so I worry they could get her again. And that I might not be there next time.
Professor Howin mentioned the poachers as well. She seemed to imply that we couldn't rely on the Ministry to help.
I don't often agree with Professor Howin, but on that, I fear she's right. The poachers' influence is growing. I see them every day in the village, lingering, talking to people. They're up to something. I'm just not sure what.
That does seem strange. Sounds as if they're planning something.
Exactly. I think I'm going to look into it. Find out what's going on. What they're doing.
I think that's a fine idea. Information is power.
And the more I know, the better I can keep Highwing safe.
You seem undeterred. Will you let me know what you find out?
Oh, very well. I will. I should be going, but we'll speak again soon, I hope.
Revelio.
Well, folks, I'm going to wrap it up here for now. Thank you all for tuning in today. Especially if you were here for both streams. It's always a pleasure. I'll see y'all next time.